Alright, so here we are. I'm going to do a little bit of a video. I'm going to do some glass cutting. I'll show you the polishing later on, but I got to do kind of a reset up after I get done with the cutting. So first of all, you're going to want some safety equipment. These saws, the biggest threat with these saws is not so much the saws itself, because this almost won't cut you, but it's the glass. If the glass breaks while you're holding on to it, you could really cut yourself, so I'm going to be wearing gloves. I've also got on a full face shield. I would recommend a full face shield when doing this because chips kind of fly all over the place, and I've wore safety glasses in the past and managed to get some that just flew right in between the crack between the glasses and my nose and hit me right in the corner of the eye. I got very, very lucky at those times. So yeah, face shield, and I also recommend this because once again the glass is the dangerous part of this, and you don't want to be bringing the dust into your house with you if you can avoid it. So I'm going to put down my face shield, probably done talking for a while, and get it going. Alright, we're back. I got my press all set up. Hopefully the rain holds off. That being said, here's what we use for the grinding. I used to do this by hand and it took forever. I'm starting with the 50 pad. We're going to work our way up to 3,000. It's actually really quick, so I'm going to go 50 through all of them, and then so on, so on, and so forth. I have a water trough here that I'm going to keep on dipping my pieces into. That's going to be very important because, again, the dust is dangerous. I'm going to put down my visor and start going. Around this time in the video, I realized that you wouldn't want to watch me just go through every single bottle. You just hear to watch me do maybe one, maybe two. So I switched up my plans and I decided to just go through with one bottle instead of all of them so you can see the process. Unfortunately, my GoPro, which had the best sound, the battery died. So obviously we're starting here with that 50 grit. You see, again, it's really important for you to keep that rim wet whenever it seems to dry out. A couple quick rounds on the grinder there. The first thing you'll notice is actually the one that takes the longest is the first grit, because you're using the first grit to actually get rid of imperfections, chips, and uneven spots. You can kind of see one on the top right there, but I kind of got to it and it's not sharp anyways. On these wheels, you can also use the wheel to kind of remove the edge on the outer lip. The inner lip is a little bit more of a problem, but this one you can do it this way. And instead of going kind of the long way, if you go against it in this direction, like you saw me do it just a minute ago, it doesn't seem to catch as much and you do avoid additional chips. You see, you also sometimes do get some chips and you have to kind of fix it up with another couple cycles on that 50 grit. But this is by far the one that takes the longest amount of time. So we turn it off and we're going to switch up. I believe the next is, so we go 50 to 100. I think I used to have an 80, but I may have lost it when I attached these to my angle grinder, and they aren't made to stick to something that spins at that high in RPM, and it flew over my house and almost into my neighbor's yard. So again, there's the 80, and you see how fast we're going through it already. I think I will probably go back to the top of the rim and hit that at least one more time. Oh, no, I guess not. So there's the 100, and there's the 150, I believe. And then once again, just a very quick buff, and they just get faster with the finer the grit. And that's the great part about this process, is the only one that takes any amount of time at all, it seems like, is that first 50 grit, because you're removing issues that you have and cleaning things up. Looking at the direction of the drill, I got to wonder if I went on the back side of the pad instead of the front, if I might be able to eliminate chips even more than I already have. So there you go. We're on to, did I see 300? Was that what it was? And doing another round like that. This one did have an uneven spot, and so long as you get rid of the sharp edges, that is not an issue, because an uneven spot won't cut you. Sharp edges obviously will. So if you're okay with that, having that, and whoever you're giving it to, if you're giving it away or selling it, is okay with that, then it's not the end of the world. So the next grit, as you can see, we go through them very quickly after the first grit. The last grit takes just a little bit longer because we are trying to add a little bit of a shine to it. But not much, really. See, there's the 1500. Again, just a fairly quick buff. You can see how sometimes I kind of tip it while I'm putting it on there. That, kind of rounds the edge even more. I haven't quite perfected the process of rounding the inside lip. I know you can use diamond bits on a long shafted Dremel or similar. And I do have a tool perfect for that job. I don't have the diamond bits. There's the 3000. That's actually the last. So you'll see I'll take a little bit longer than I have on the last few, but not much. In the grand scheme of things, it's a very quick process once you get to this last step. That edge, I haven't really found that it's too easy to get the lip shiny, that edge that I'm sanding or buffing right there. But the flat part on the top, those tend to get very shiny. As a matter of fact, if you get the very clear Pepsi bottles that are very thick glass, you can get those to shine up so nice. And the coolest part is that they act as kind of a lens to enhance the size of the label on the bottle itself. So it's this really cool optical illusion kind of thing that it does. And I've really liked that about my latest cups. I actually started cutting a long time ago with a corundum, like round glass cutter blade, and at that point I'd use the ball to kind of break the score line. And this is just a much faster process. Even after I learned how to use hot water and cold water alternating, this is still such a fast process. You can see how shiny it is. And I always struggled, especially with smoothing out the cut ones, because it had so many uneven pieces and chips, and you would sand them by hand. And everybody said that like it was no big deal, but I went through so much wet sandpaper just to do one cup, and so much time just to do one cup, that I ended up with a box full of cut bottles. And now you can see it's much better. My success rate went from about 75% breakage to 75% success.